Guys, I'm well and truly spoiling you with the rate in which we're releasing these videos at the moment, but frankly, you deserve it. The love, the support, the comments, the feedback, the help, all the stuff that's been coming through since we released the first two episodes. I've been blown away. Thank you so much. So much love and enthusiasm for this series. I expect it from me, right? But I don't expect it from others. So that's been amazing. So thank you. And it really reminds me what a special community we're building here around this channel. So there's a couple of reasons for this episode coming out so quickly after. One, frankly, you deserve it with all the support you've given us on the series. But secondly, I'm having a nightmare of a day. I've woke up today with no heating, no hot water. My boiler's broken. Of course it's broken. It's winter. Why wouldn't it break in the same pay packet as Christmas? Obviously. It's also happened on the same day that I have got to take my son to a eye-wateringly expensive specialist dental appointment this afternoon. I got my dog in the vets on Monday. Everything's going wrong, and just to compound, just to show you just how badly my luck has turned lately. This is now the third time I've recorded this introduction. First time I hadn't unmuted my mic. Second time I hadn't pressed record. So, you know, just basically don't come near me at the minute because I'm terrible luck. Everything around me breaks. So anyway, guys, I'm prescribing my own medicine today. We constantly say on this channel, on the live streams, and promote the use of things like Farming Simulator and games to distract and escape, and with whatever you're going through in life, just to give you a bit of a mental break, right? I very rarely follow my own advice. So for this one time, I thought, you know what? Everything I touch is breaking today. Everything's going wrong. I can't get myself down from that place of high anxiety and worry and, you know, just who knows how, you know, when you get into that place, you know what I mean? That heightened sense of like, what am I going to do? I'm going to do what I tell you guys to do, and that's to jump into this game. And maybe it's only a sort of quick, short, unplanned episode, but just to allow me to have a bit of a mental break. I'm already sitting here grinning slightly, right, and had a bit of a chuckle, so it's already working. So that's the plan for today, guys. The first thing I wanted to do is, because some of you have asked in the comments, is do a very slow scroll through my mods. I can't list them all. Many of you asking me to list the mods. I've got over 100 now, and it keeps growing. So I thought if I do a slow scroll, you can hit pause and grab the information you need. It's important to note that most of these are around the Achy Acres series, so anything you see around forestry, a lot of the landscape and ones, they're all going to be like forestry and Achy Acres related. However, some of these will apply to the save. So, you know, there will be some landscaping elements to this. All the British storage units you see I have here are obviously going to come heavily into play as well with this series. You know, it's like this lovely UK sheep barn and root storage unit there and that sort of thing. So many of these we won't use, but they're all installed basically because of either this save or the Achy Acres series, which you can also catch on the YouTube channel. But I want to do a bit of a slow scroll, I should say, through there so you can grab what you need. The other thing is, as many of you have been suggesting the hired purchase, actually 2 or 3 of you have, the hired purchaser mod, which I wasn't familiar with. It sounds like a cracking idea for this save, because obviously in the last episode I was sort of having to lease and that didn't really make sense. And obviously, what farmer is going out with 300-400 grand in their back pocket and buying a tractor outright? That doesn't really happen in the real world in 2025, or very rarely, particularly because of depreciation and everything. So what we can do is we can have a look at this. I've not used it before, but we can have a look at this and look to hand back our leased vehicles and get them on HP. So at least we're working towards a future where we own our own vehicles. So that feels perfect for this save and this narrative. So thank you for all the people that have suggested that. And then the other one, lots of you have mentioned, is the restrictions on Saxlingham. And I appreciate you all looking out for me. You're not wanting me to hit a brick wall or have some issue with the save. I'm well aware of the band around the outside of the map where you can't build. Some of you would have seen it in the last video when I was sort of talking about what I plan to do with pigs. It was coming up with no area restricted, can't build, etc. But don't worry, I'd already had a plan for this. I was already aware of it, thankfully. It is unfortunate as well that that farmyard is in the top corner, because you all know, anyone who's watched me on this channel before will know that my yards have a tendency to grow and grow and grow. So it might not be a bad thing that I can't build on the starting yard. But I have 2 plans. The first one is this no restricted fences mod. So essentially what this will allow you to do, if you put your barn or pigsty or whatever it is in the area where you can build. This will allow you to put the pasture fences in that area that you're not permitted to build. I'll do a demonstration of that in this video. So that's one workaround. Secondly, it's all about narrative. So I'd already thought about if there's anywhere where I want to build and I go to build and I can't, i.e. on the yard, we're going to blame good old Safe Norfolk Council for that and say that they didn't grant us planning permission. So as with all these things, guys, stick a narrative behind it and it'll make it work. So like we do with achy acres, where I don't do the contracting and I don't do the leasing and that sort of thing, and there's a narrative and a reason behind that. On this save, guys, if we hit the issue with the margins of the map not allowing us to build, we're going to put that down to Safe Norfolk Council denying us planning permission, and we will work around it. So guys, just to demonstrate what I was talking about the restricted margin on this map, if I just grab any of these buildings, can you see here it says area restricted all around this margin of the map, area restricted. But for example, I can't build in the yard. That's a little bit frustrating, because if you want to chuck an extra silo in there, you'd have to do it in here. And this bit of the map here, this little corner, that also falls within that margin. Nothing affected on this bit of the field, but as soon as you go into here, so you can kind of see it's about a width and a half of that shed that's affected by this invisible margin that stops us building. A lot of people complained about it, mainly because of this here. You know, you've got perfectly usable concrete pads here that look like it's been designed for production lines, right? Why else are they in here if this isn't meant to be a production line area? You've got good access with the roads, you've got the concrete pads, but if you buy this area, this falls within that margin. You can only really sort of build a sliver like here. So I hope that's going to get fixed one day. I really do. I also hope some of these textures beyond the edge of the map could be improved. Like the buildings look great, but some of them textures could be improved. But I find this one's probably more frustrating because this whole area, you look at Saxlingham and you just think, yeah, this is where all your production lines are going to go. It's perfect. It's next to the main road. It's away from all the agricultural areas. You're not ruining the sort of the beauty of that. But unfortunately, this falls into that margin, right? It's like, I can't explain it, but if you imagine like 2 inches around all the outside of the map, you can't build on, which happens to fall upon where this production line, or what you would assume was intended to be production lines, and the starting map is right smack bang in the middle of it as well, as you can see here from the area is restricted. So when you come out here, you can do it. So this meadow area, which I don't really want to touch because it looks amazing, I could build all in here, right? I could build in here, that's not an issue. But you can't, because this is the edge of the map here, and it'll apply all the way along this edge and all the way. So again, look, you've got area here which you could build on, but you can't. I've not actually looked, you know, in Saxlingham where the other farms are, but look, that's a decent. There's one there. Obviously, we looked at the dairy farm in the first episode, I should say. But same again here, guys. If I owned this field, it'd be like this bit here I couldn't build on, and down this side I couldn't build on. So it's frustrating. It's a little bit, let's say, especially if you were planning to use those concrete pads as production lines, which I might have done at some point. Just get old Shotsham Ford here. This generally exists, guys. My old man crashed a brand new motorbike going through there because it was mossy. I'm sure he's going to love me saying that. He took a brand new motorbike across here, adventure bike, and I guess he just headed for the nearest Ford. But obviously that's mossy as hell under there. And yeah, he might have dropped it, but don't tell him I told all the people on the internet that. I used to swim in here as a kid. That's all closed off now, which is unfortunate. You know, in the 90s, that was our bloody aqua park. That was our water park. but now it's closed. But there we go. Right, guys. So that explains, hopefully, what's going on with the build. Thank you for the people that left comments worried that I was going to hit a brick wall with that. I'd already considered it. We're going to blame Safe Norfolk Council, and we're going to work around it. And the way we can work around it, guys, so like I say, with that mod, that fence mod that I showed you in the introduction, as long as you put, so you can see I can't build here, but as long as you spin it so that your barn, pigsty, you know, main drop-off point, whatever you want to call it, is outside of that restriction, you can then do a customized fence. And using that mod that I showed you in the introduction, it will allow you to put the fence in the area you're not allowed to build. So look at that. Don't come with me with problems, come with me with solutions. Excuse me. So yeah, so that's how we're going to do it, guys. That's how we're going to work around it with stuff like that, right? So I do have a, let's just cancel that. No, we're going to delete this. Remember, if you come, as long as you don't come out of this menu, guys, you can get your money back. I can't stress that enough, because when I discovered that, it was game changing for me. If you come out of the build menu, you have to pay full whack on that. But as long as you stay within the menu, you can sell it and get all your money back. All right. Yeah, that's that. So that's how we're going to do it. But what the plan is to get our first pigs, guys, I'm going to be using this sow hut mod, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You saw a little bit of it probably in episode 1 or 2. And then what I like doing is I like rotating the piglets in here, because obviously in real life that's what you would do. Pigs do have a habit of eating babies. Not human babies, but I wouldn't trust them to babysit either, so you know, don't take my word for it. But what we do is we put the piglets in here, but what it importantly does, it allows head count in your main pig enclosure for them to reproduce, right? Because obviously in farm sim, how it works, unless you use mods, it hits that limit and they stop breeding. You lose, like, you know, say that you might have had 20 babies, but if your limit only allows for 10, then 10 disappear into the ether, right? So you don't want to be doing that. That's wasted money. So my plan is to use this little track that comes off the yard here. Put this in somewhere like here. I want to leave room to get around it all ways, because I've made that mistake in previous builds where I've made everything look really neat and tidy, and then you can't navigate a large transport lorry or slurry tanker or whatever that might look like around. So what we're going to do, if we put this sort of somewhere like here, it allows us to have plenty of room either side of all the units we're going to need. So this is 34k, guys, so we can afford that. And then that's what our sow hut looks like. And we are going to start with piglets, because why would we buy adults at full prices? It's done a horrible leveling thing there, which I'm not a fan of. Hopefully we can fix that. I'm not a fan of that, Mr. Mod. If we can't, we'll get creative with the landscaping of it. If we can't, we'll get creative. To be fair, that's softened it up pretty well, hasn't it? That's softened it up pretty well. Yeah, we can live with that. I just couldn't live with it the initial. Like, there's a bit of a dent there, but again, we can always find ways of landscaping around it and everything else. I haven't got the luxury of landscaping at the minute. You all know how much I love doing that side of the game, but unfortunately, that costs money, right? I'd love to make this all muddy. I'd love to put like a track in here. We're just going to have to let natural ground deformation do its thing for now. Same as I like putting mud in here. Because we haven't got that money to burn. We just haven't. So I need to make every penny count at the minute. But I think that's softened it up nice enough, isn't it? Yeah, that'll do. And I'm not going to... The thing is with this game is you're constantly looking, right? Is there a spot where I'm going to buckaroo my tractor to the moon? Because obviously, Giants physics. That's not ideal, but we can make it work. And we can make it look like we can pull some water in there and stuff and make it look like a natural drop in the ground. So yeah, this is the sow hut mod, guys. I absolutely love it. I'm going to start with one. I want to have two. The plan is to have two, but I don't know how far my money's going to stretch, right? And we aren't going to be able to get any bigger loan. We've got to make what we've got work for the minute. But the idea would be is we have another one here. Surely that land is owned by us. That's just tucking into the headland. Oh, we might be able to make it work. Look, if I flatten it, we could probably make it work. And get a second one in there. If not, we'll go like this. We'll go like that. But we should be able to afford two. But what I want to do is just buy the piglets so that we know we're good for that first. So let's give that a look. Haven't really thought about what animals we're going to get, guys, but I think I'm safe to come out here. I'm very nervous on a new save of coming out of this menu. It looks a little bit dented in, but we can't help it. That's the way the field has gone up there. The other way we could have done it is put them this way along, but either way we would have encountered a leveling issue at some point, right? Like we could have the other way we could do it is by putting it long ways like that, I suppose. Could do that. Let's have a look and see what it looks like so we can get our money back for this. The only thing we won't get our money back is for the leveling. If I just soften all that off again. I know we put a big old crater in the field now. Not ideal, admittedly. Not ideal. We'll put that down to build and works. We'll put that down to building works when we were building the pig enclosure. We used it as gravel store or something. So yeah, the other way you could do it, guys, this might look a lot tidier, to be fair. This might look a lot tidier. So again, I want to lay plenty of room to navigate this. I don't want any of that nonsense I've run into in the past where I can't get round it easily. So again, we've still got a little bit of a leveling issue, but it's not major. But again, it's a mod, right? This stuff happens with mods. It's to be expected. It's not base game. These are people doing these things in their own free time out of the goodness of their own heart, and I'd remind you to remember that before you go jumping on comments complaining about something not being perfect, or, you know, the map having a border issue, because these are people who are doing it completely unpaid for the love of the game. If you piss them off, they'll stop doing it, and then we'll be all worse off for it. Right. So yeah, I think we go for that as a first one then, all right? Well, that we can use this as a bit of a manure storage. Oh look, Saxlingham comes with its own manure pad. I didn't know that. Oh, I like that. I haven't got the money for it yet, but I want to put that in. Because again, right, I've had this argument on the Achy Acres series so many times. I've put sugar beet and stuff on these pads, right? I've done like a concrete silo, and I've put sugar beet in there, and like I'll get Americans coming and say, "Why you put that there for? Get it off." And I was like, "Well, no, you drive around here, like literally here, this part of the world, safe Norfolk. You'll go around these back roads, and there will be a concrete pad, and it's piled up with sugar beet, ready to give to the sheep or the pigs." Oh, I love that. We'll definitely use that. Not here, though. It's going to cause all sorts of issues by the looks of it. But we'll find a way of putting that somewhere. Right, where is the little piglet poo? It might be under extensions. Here we are. Manure heap for the sow hut, look. And so we might have two back-to-back there. So maybe we need to have a little think where we put it. So can you see, like, I can't build in here, but we can build here absolutely fine. Hopefully this would be close enough. If not, we could put it there, but then it's kind of going to be in the way. Where's the drop-off? Oh, the drop-off's at the front. We don't want to get in the way of that fence, though. I'll tell you what we do. If we put it here, and then we could always put another sow hut there and have a bit of middle ground. The other thing I like about this, guys, this sow hut manure heap, it allows you to spin it around many angles. Whereas if you've watched me on the live streams, you'll know I get very frustrated by the base game silos. This Highland fishing one will probably do it, where you only get, look, 4 points. It's really annoying. You end up with your manure heaps in all sorts of weird positions. This one doesn't have that issue, which is lovely. You pop that there. I know we're getting very tight on money. Got to be careful. I've got to be careful. Could you imagine that? This save dies. Episode 3, it dies because we go bankrupt. Do you ever watch that Joel's pig farm in Norfolk save? Yeah, it's a shame it was only 3 episodes long, wasn't it? You went bloody bankrupt, the twat. Sorry, excuse my language. This isn't ever going to be a completely PG series, guys. I won't drop F and C bombs, but there will be the odd S and T. And I know Google won't like it, or YouTube, I should say. Right, I like that there. I think that works. Let's get some piglets. Right, so for the pigs, guys, this sow hut can hold 100. We're not going to be able to afford 100. And also, when they grow up, we need to have money to actually move them into an enclosure where they can reproduce. This is obviously just to get them started in life. I haven't really thought about what types. Now, maybe you can tell me in the comments, am I pronouncing that right when I say Benthium? I have no idea, right? I have no idea. I know German Landers. I know Berkshires. I don't know how I'm supposed to be pronouncing black pied because I've never called them by that first word. So Benthium, let me know if I'm completely wrong in the comments. I can take it. I'm a big boy. Right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to get these all at naught because it makes no sense us being pig farmers with no money and buying them as adults. Oh, it's 23 grand if we bought 100. Maybe we can get a lot. So what we'll do then, guys, if we get maybe, what should we say, 25 of each. If we go for 25 of each, it's a shame there's 3 different breeds because it doesn't really go into 100. It'd be great to fill it, wouldn't it? It would be great to fill it. How much was that going to set me back, though, if I filled it? Because we need money to feed them, ultimately. 23 grand. Maybe we can, then. Oh, hell, we'll live a little. We could always resell them. Once they're a bit older, they'll be worth more. So what we'll do, guys, we'll get 50 of the German standard pink pigs. And look at that. We're officially pig farmers. We're officially pig farmers, guys. Right, this is the moment right now that we became pig farmers. We will get 25 of these and 25 of the Berkshires. Just for variety, so something different to look at really in there. I haven't thought about what we're going to do in all the time it's taken for these to grow up, but don't worry about that yet. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Guys, we are officially pig farmers. They've got nothing to eat. We've got nothing to feed them. But we are official pig farmers. So guys, just so you've seen them in the flesh outside of the build mode, we have our little manure pit. Like I say, lovely little pit that comes with the sow. I don't think you have to use it with the sow. I think it'll work with any. Don't quote me on that. I've not tested it, but I reckon that'll probably work with all of them. And yeah, I love this little sow hut. It's really, really decent. You've got a gate at each end for like loading and everything. You'll see this fills up with straw really well in a minute as well. We are going to need a way of getting straw in here, which I haven't thought about, but don't worry about that. Let's get the barley in. Let's get them fed. So they got 12,000 litres of food. This unit holds a maximum of 65k. Also a slurry as well, which is handy because we might be able to reuse that or at least sell it, right? Like in these early days, we will sell the manure, we'll sell the slurry, we'll sell whatever we can to make money. So now it's just a case of getting them bedded in, getting them some straw in there. Let's just have a look if we were to get this on HP. Here, high purchase. Here we go. So choose an amount to deposit. We can give 4 grand. Oh, this could take a little bit of getting used to. Interest rate 5%. Monthly cost 7. We can't afford that much. We can't afford that much. Oh, okay. It's coming down if we bump the years up. So if we did it over 5 years, that's a long while to... That's what you'd pay for a car, I suppose. Maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years. It means we've got to pay £1,000 a month. We've got no final fee with option 2. And it costs us 104k. How much does it cost normally? 92. So it's 5% interest. Yeah, I think that's what we do, guys. That's what we do. We'll HP it. We can hand the leased one back. There's no final fee to worry about. And all right, it's going to cost us just shy... Well, it's going to cost us £12,000 more. But beggars can't be choosers, right? We haven't got the money in our pocket to buy it outright. So I think this is what we'll have to do. Cool. Our first... hired purchased vehicle, so we need to hand back the leased one. Which one's the leased one? This one. See, look, it cost us 2,800. Alright guys, so we've got our tractor on HP. We now just need to get a bale fork for it so we can transport the bales to the pigs. So we're just going for the cheapest one we get and we'll buy that one outright. And we'll go grab those from the shop. Right, guys, I may have forgotten to put a front arm on this so we can use a bale fork. I'm sure you all spotted it before I did. It took me a long while to realise where the hell I customise vehicles on this Saxlingham map. I was going in and out of the showroom. I now realised I found this warehouse area. So, warehouse workshop is what I meant. So, presumably, I drive in here. I saw this area here. I might... Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Look, of course I'm in the wrong bay. Of course I am. Doesn't that always happen? Doesn't that always happen? So yeah, it took me a little while to work out where I can customise vehicles, but we'll put a front loader arm on this, and then we'll be able to use the bale fork, because I'm an idiot and didn't think of that in advance. I'm so used to having a Merlot. I don't like not having a Merlot on this farm. Maybe I should have got a Merlot. Maybe I'd have felt more comfortable. But we'll get this customised. We'll put a front loader on. I don't think it matters which, does it? No, you only got one option anyway. Oh, God, that's another £1,500. Our money is disappearing, guys. It's disappearing fast. I realised as well I'm still... we'll close this door so I don't get confused next time. Oh, hello, who are you? What's going on with that haircut? What's going on with that haircut? It reminds me of when Darren Huckabee used to play for Norwich. Anyway, let's get that out of there. We've now got the front loaders on. Hopefully Joel can connect it up, because I have been known to buy completely the wrong attachments for the wrong vehicles on many occasions before, so it's not always a given that this will work. So we'll pop this in here. We're down to 22 grand, guys. But we've been able to feed our pigs. We've been able to buy our pigs. We've been able to, well, if this works. It doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. What do I need? What do I need to make that work? Oh, it's a skid steer loading tool. I'm a dipstick, aren't I? By the way, guys, if you're new here, get used to this, because I won't edit it all out. I own my mistakes. I won't edit it all out. I will lose money by buying the wrong things numerous times. There's no combination on this, is it? So it doesn't show me what I need. Here's front loader. Then how do I know? Oh, right. I've got one of these. Is it this one I've got? Which one have I got? If I find which one I've got, I can look at the combination. I don't know what one it is on there. But if we just assume it's something like this, what combination does it allow us to stick on? I bought that. I bought that, though. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've done this before. So I've put the attachment on. Here we go. Here's a tip for anyone new to farming and farm sim, because this game doesn't hold your hand. I've made this mistake before and I've just remembered. I've bought the attachment, but you still need to buy the arms to go on it, right? This is the mistake I've made before, and I'm now realising it. It's more money, guys. It's more money. So I've got the front loading attachment. I've now got to buy the front loader, and I just sold the bale spike that I could have used. And I'll have to now get it back, and I would have made a loss on that when I sold it. You move too quickly, Joel. You move too quickly. We're just going to get whatever the cheapest thing here is on HP. We'll go for this, because we know it'll work with the quick we've got on ours. Oh, my word, guys. This is painful. So we'll do this. Well, I'm going to have to do it over 5 years. I need everything to be as cheap as possible. It's going to add on about £900. Actually, maybe if we try and stagger it a bit. If we've done this over 3 years, the tractor over 5 years. I can't believe I'm now going to buy the bale spike that I just sold at a loss because I thought I'd bought the wrong thing. If you want to watch good content, guys, go watch Virtual Farmer, etc. If you want to watch a man just make an absolute fool of himself, then stick around. I'm such a dickhead. So now we're going to buy the bale fork that I just got rid of at a loss. We'll buy this outright because it's £600. You know you're skint when you're having to put bloody front loader arms on HP. Oh my word, if I thought this tractor struggled to cart and barley, it's going to struggle now. There we go. We're finally there, guys. Finally there. See, it's not just the live streams where this happens, but as I say, I don't edit this stuff out. This is what I'm about. I'm about showing you that you can play a game. You don't have to be good at it to have fun. If you don't take yourself too seriously, it can still be fun. You don't have to be like top 10 COD player and all that nonsense that the internet and Instagram and TikTok will make you believe, guys. If you're having fun and you're prepared to have a laugh with it, then these games can be whatever you want them to be, and it's why I won't edit that whole section out. Right, now let's get back to actually giving our pigs some straw, shall we? Can I just say how much I'm loving the bird noises on this? Like, as somebody who lives here, this part of the world, I'll ignore that. That's going to happen a lot, guys. Get used to it. As somebody who lives here and has spent the last year playing a North American map, I'm loving hearing all the small bird song. Does that not work? Oh, it does work, thank goodness. I was about to have a meltdown. After going through everything I just went through to get this bloody bale spike and all the extra expense with a, you know, quickly depleting bank account in this save, I was about to cry if that didn't accept the straw. Don't know how much straw it'll take. I imagine it'll probably take all the bales we got. But we got lucky here, guys, because this first field, it wasn't planned. It was completely by chance. I happened to get a field that had a crop on that the pigs will eat and will also give us straw. It's complete pot luck. Like I say, I'm not that you've already seen in this episode. I'm not that organised for that to be planned, but it's worked really well. So what we'll do, guys, we'll get the rest of this straw in, and then yeah, we've got our first vehicle on HP. We've got front loading arm on HP. We actually own a bale spike. I'm so proud of that bale spike. I own it, even though I technically bought it twice. The trailer we've still got leased, so we'll hand that back. Actually, let's do that now to save money. The sooner the lease and stuff has gone, the better financially for us. Half pipe. I love the half pipe, by the way, but we'll return you. We own pigs. We own our own equipment. What's going on? What's going on? To be fair, with that shop incident, I actually looked like a new farmer, didn't I? Imagine me. Like, the amount of people that have messaged me saying, oh, you should come have a go on my farm. Trust me, mate, you don't need that chaos in your working day. You really want this in real life. Anyway, let's get the rest of this straw in. So there we go, guys. As night draws in on the first month of this save, we have 100 piglets in. We have got some food in there. We can see that they consume 52,000 litres of grub a year. And we've got 12,000 litres in there. So we've got enough to last them a little bit. We have got straw. We've filled up the straw. I have no idea what I'm going to do between now and them getting old enough. I have no idea what I'm going to sell. I have no idea. We've got poo, I suppose, we're going to sell. I might have to get a chainsaw out and have a little trim up somewhere, but I really don't want to scar this landscape because it looks amazing. I have no idea what we're going to sell other than manure and slurry, or what we're going to do whilst we're waiting for those to grow up. But don't worry about that. So again, thank you guys for the hired purchase tip. That's brilliant. We now got, like I say, this tractor and this arm on the front of it, which just so you know, guys, you have to buy an attachment before you put the arms on. The sad thing is that's twice I've made that mistake, but anyway, we own a bale fork. That's what I'm taking away from today. We own our own bale fork. We bought it twice, but we own it once. And yeah, we are officially a pig farm, right? No one can say I'm not a pig farm now. No one can say I'm not a pig farmer. I've got pigs on a farm. Done. Bish bash bosh. I'll see you on the next episode, guys. Remember to keep liking them to help other people find the series. Appreciate you all. Bye bye.